The Southwest TV News Summer Around the Southwest Tour is proudly brought to you by Swift Current Mall, the center at 1 and 4, your premier shopping center for Southwest Saskatchewan. Innovation Credit Union, imagine the possibilities. JD Ag Tech, providing farming solutions in 9 locations across Saskatchewan. The 2010 Ford World Women's Curling Championship, where the world will stop for 9 days in swift currents. And Sask Power, proud to be the owner and operator of the environmentally friendly Centennial Wind Power Facility.
It's been an exceptional year for fishing at the Saskatchewan Landing. The weather's been gracious and the water's clear. Anglers at the annual Walleye tournament say the fish are reeling in easier and larger than ever before. Participation at the tournament was the best they've seen in over 10 years, with 110 boats taking to the water. Fishermen came from all over Canada and the United States to soar the open water at the Landing, with hopes to reel in the largest walleye. So if you're wondering what's the best way to capture a walleye, there isn't one. Everyone has their own tactic.
We were real diverse this weekend. We jigged, we rigged, we pulled blades, we cranked, and I guess we had 4 that we used to attack them poor fish.
We tried everything the last couple days just to get a big one, and whatever we tried out worked, so that was the main thing.
The fish in this lake reservoir are very nomad. They roam from point to point, and you want to fish the wind. That was our strategy, and they preferred the night crawler over any other bait that we used over the 4 days we were here.
All sport fishermen have different methods of approaching walleye fish, keeping in mind they feed more at dawn and dusk. They don't like mud and they tend to hug the bottom of the lake near rocks and sand. The challenge for many fishermen in a tournament like this is stationing themselves so they are able to attract just walleye.
The fishery is so vast here, and there's so many different species of fish. You have to be able to sort yourself out and try to capture a walleye versus a goldeye, right? So there's a lot of challenges here. The weather's a challenge. The structure, what we call structure in the lake, is a challenge. So there's so many variables here that not one presentation will win it.
Raymond Lamy from Carriage River and his partner Dennis Blay from Live Long won the grand prize of $10,000. Between the two of them, they reeled in just over 50 pounds. They say confidence along with practice and motivation led them to victory.
Pre-fishing, we found a couple spots and we just stuck to our plan and it just worked, that's all. Just takes a lot of luck too, but plan worked, so it was good.
The pair, just one of several contestants that compete all summer long on the Walleye Trail throughout Western Canada and into the States. Around 90% of the anglers at the Landings tournament are real keeners. That means they take the sport very seriously and spend a lot of money on their boat, entrance fees, equipment, fuel, and other traveling expenses. And having the tournament so close to swift current, our local economy is able to reap the benefits.
The hotel is making money. Campground here, there's quite a few guys that bring their big units and they're staying in the Fisherman's Village on the west side. There's lots of guys in swift current staying in motels. It's just a huge thing. And then as the rec board and the Elks Club, we make, as a guest, a general rule, we make $3,000 or $4,000 a year off our tournament to support whatever we're doing in our communities. So it's a huge economic spin-off for us.
In order to keep the fishing industry strong and growing, organizers rely on the honesty of fishermen to release their fish after it's been weighed and tallied.
I like to eat fish twice a week, but anything that's bigger than 19 inches goes back, and we eat the smaller fish and we let the big ones have their fun.
Several youth worked as a team in saving these fish. After they were weighed, they were dumped into the fishing tank. The young ones would make sure they were swimming on their own before releasing them back into the lake. In the event they came belly up after being released, someone would quickly run down and bring the fish back up and try to revive it.
I was working the release tank, and I get the fish after they weigh them, and I put them down a chute back into the water so they still live. Because if we didn't do that, we'd have a whole bunch of dead fish.
Noble says the tournament continues to grow every year, with several returning and new competitors coming on board as well. The committee plans to increase publication next year to make the tournament well known internationally.
50 pounds is great advertising for us for next year. So when we write that on our brochures to send out to the fishermen, and we got 50 pounds, that really helps us promote our tournament. So, and that's huge. I think we've had 50 pounds once before in the 17 years, maybe twice. So that's big for us. And then we had a fish today that was 12.10, and he asked for reweigh, so it went down to 12.08. So we actually only missed the big fish by 6/100ths of a pound, and that's really never happened before. We haven't had a 12-pound fish since I've been in the last 10 years since I've been associated with the tournament. So.
The 2009 Walleye Tournament was one to remember for everyone involved. Organizers will start planning next year's competition in January. For Southwest TV News, I'm Valerie Lalonde.